So I was just sitting here, took a little nap, had a, nap dream. Not really a dream, but I guess a little bit of the consciousness of what I was feeling came back through the course of, all of that. And uh, you know, uh, we're going through this COVID thing, and hasn't been quite easy. Trying to live off of this little unemployment thing. I mean, even if you were to try to pay your bills, one bill knocks out your living arrangements and whatnot for the week, which is still an adult thing to do. Then I'm thinking, with all of this quarantining and whatnot, how little I've been associated or connected with other people and whatnot. Being living in this town without any family or anything that close family or whatnot, and lots of friends and whatnot that I call friends or whatnot. They have those things, and even people like in my situation, I sit back and I wonder sometimes, you know, uh, here it is. I'm about to go into 60 years old, and often, especially during this quarantine era, I've contemplated the amount of time and whatnot that while I've kept the lines of communication open and whatnot, and I've been very forthwith about a lot of things that I do, and lots going on in my life and whatnot. How rare, it's become that if I'm not calling someone, I rarely get a heads up or a checkup or whatnot. And not that I want to really, put anything out there on a negative state, but I'm in that day that I'd sit back and I'd just feel like, I live by myself and the whole nine, and with the current habit of communication with, friends and family and whatnot, you know, if something was to happen to me, God forbid, the amount of time that it would take for someone to even notice that I was missing or inactive or whatnot, enough to actually reach out, enough to actually do more than just reach out, maybe come check on you. Maybe, I think, in some cases, what put me in that thought is, on the several kind of posts where I'm sitting back and I'm like, man, this unemployment thing is really sucking. Uh, and not working, not really having anybody that I talk to or that talks to me. And then you sit back and you count those days and you sit back and you go, man, if I was to go on active, how long would it take before someone was to find me? And for what reason? And I'm sitting back here and I'm joking. I'm like, yeah, man, I got my little pot plants growing and stuff. Man, those things be like bushes, all budded and everything else. And man, by the time that they finally decided to come check on me, just because the chances are that my landlord would probably be more the first to check on me than anyone else, just for the mere fact that I'm not checking back with them. And they'd have to do what do they call it, a courtesy check or a health check, or welfare, health and welfare, or whatnot. And to realize, how few people do I have in my loop, friends and family alike, that would feel the need to do that over, you know, uh, being more, hello, is this so and so? Well, we got a Mr. Doe, or, well, Mr. Me. We just wanted to let you know, and then to think about, the mere fact that there's probably a lot more people out there that probably feel the way I do, even at my age or younger, that are out there that have nobody really that, and it's not like, oh, well, if you just reach out and, and talk to people all the time and this, that, and the other and everything. And I'm like, I actually do that. But, most of the people I do that, friends and family, are like, they're pretty doggone busy with, their immediate friends and family and whatnot that they really deal with. And I'm not really stressing that on them. I'm not putting that on them. They're really great people. But, you know, it just really dawned on me this evening, I guess. I guess that little dream thing didn't help none either. But, the actuality of, wow, me and my elderly age and whatnot, with such a minimal amount of social interaction and whatnot. The mere fact that, I really don't have very many people that that on the course of any other time actually, just fix it in the mind and just go, hey, you good? I say that quite often. I often check on people, and I really honestly am interested in, others who take that gesture to heart at times. Not that they necessarily return the favor or whatnot, but just the feeling of, the possibility that, if I wasn't so busy with, letting others out there in Wonderland, know, hey, I'm good. How many people would be interested or whatnot? I mean, we've had Chadwick and a lot of the other people that, gone through these things. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, this, that, and the other. But in the meantime, I just wonder how many people actually sit sometimes and wonder, while I enjoy a little bit of my silence and my solitude and whatnot, I will admit that, I do miss the younger years when there were lots more people who used to feed through me. In a lot of cases, a lot of their social interactions and whatnot. And I've got lots of you that are friends and friends of friends and whatnot that can recall those times and eras. And yet, I'm not connected with any orders or any lodges or any frats or anything like that. That, that not that that would really matter or anything, but it just really just hit me a little bit more tonight. Just to the mere fact that, how awkward it is to notice that, a lot of the generalized friends and family that I have, would probably be more of the last people to find out anything about my condition or demise or anything else of that nature on a daily basis because of the rarity that I find myself in noticing that, I spend a lot of time trying to be friends to a lot of people that spend a lot of time being appreciative of my checking on them, and yet rarely do I get a check on anyone else unless, out of the blue they just happen to notice my phone number in their phone and want to try to throw me on some pyramid scheme shit. And even then, it's not like they're calling to say, hey, how are you? And, and just wondering how it must feel for a lot of people in my age bracket and worse that are in the same situation where, they have families and friends and whatnot that are all invested in correspondence and care and concern for a lot of other immediate people. And yet, how at, any point in time that there may be a possibility of anything like that happening, how they would probably feel, realizing that, man, I never really did, yeah. I got lots of people who talk about me in a folklore kind of manner, yo, man, that easy dude, yo, that Hafiz dude, yo, this, that, and the other. But, just the, sometimes the silence, can kind of get with you sometimes. And you don't want to lash out at anybody. And that's, I guess, the reason why I'm making this right here. So with all that being said, I'm just going to leave this like this. You good?